Well, guys, we have Jana Rosenblatt here today. Jana, welcome.
Good morning.
Good
How are
morning.
you?
I am well. How about you?
I'm great.
Awesome. Well, Jana, why don't you tell me a little bit about you and your business?
Okay. My business is named Jana Design Interiors. We are an interior design company. We do commercial and residential interior design. We do commercial build outs for major companies and branded interiors. And we do a lot of renovations of older homes. And then my probably greatest love is when we build new homes from the ground up. And especially when we do it for people who have lost their homes to disaster.
And you have a whole podcast on that.
I do because it is really my passion. From Disaster to Dream Home is my podcast, and it takes you through the steps of building a new home in a year, whether you truncate that and can do it faster or it extends out to 2 years. The steps in the process are the same, and it helps you to know what you need to do next, from the insurance process and navigating those treacherous waters to when you're working with your architects and your builders and how to stay ahead of the game so they're never waiting for a decision that you have to make.
Right. Yeah. No, that's awesome. It's a really good podcast. And
Thank
you
you.
you have a lot of guests on there too that kind of
I
speak to that.
do. Yeah, that's been one of the most rewarding parts of it. People that I been working with for years and have supported my clients and my career, I get to interview them, gain from their expertise so that I'm, building additional information in for people who are going through the process. I Any one of us in the construction industry only knows so much. So it's great to be able to glean the expertise of the people that I work with every day.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, how did you get into doing what you're doing?
My first career was in film and television design.
Okay.
And I grew up wanting to do that since I was a small child. And I did that for the first 15 years, but it's a really young person's career. And as I was getting older, I wanted things to last longer. When I finished a project, I wanted to be able to go back to it in 2 years and
Sure.
it would be there. So, so for many reasons, I was very fortunate to start to ride the horse in the direction it was going. And I was working on the homes of the talent and of the producers and of the people I was working with. And I was able to build that into a career and my own company, which I always wanted to have. So instead of being, a contract for hire and never knowing exactly when the next job would be, I had more control over my future and my creativity.
Very cool. And how long have you been doing this now?
More than 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah. At some point I have to actually count it up, but it's been a long time. And the first years were a little challenging because I had to learn things like that walls are thicker than 2 inches. But once I got those things down, it's been just a joy. It's the same set of skills that I've always been proud of and enjoyed sharing with the world all my life: drawing, painting, design, space planning. And then adding what I liked in the theatrical work, which was character. So my clients and my businesses that I work with are now my characters, and I can help them develop their goals and their wants and needs and make their dreams come true.
Yeah, that's great. What's your favorite part about what you do?
My favorite part is that when I'm done with a project, I bring in a photographer, and for 4 to 6 hours, the property is mine. I do it when there's no client around, no one except my crew, and we stage a little bit, but mostly and it's like a breath of fresh air where I can say, okay, this is my home for 4 hours or my business for 4 hours, and now I can give it to you. So it's like, when you have a baby and you see them grow up, I
Yeah,
get a few minutes to just take it all in before I hand it over. It's very rewarding.
that's very cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Awesome. Well, there's a question I want to ask you, and I'm going to ask this of everybody.
Okay.
What are your 3 top wisdom nuggets that you would give to anyone that is just starting out in their business, or something that you wish you knew in the beginning?
Okay. I'm going to say, first of all, trust your instincts and don't hold yourself back. There are a lot of negative thought process that make you feel or lead you to feel that you can't do something. But if you have a skill and a passion, there are people who need what you do, and you just need to do it. And the people will find you. You'll find each other.
Mm-hmm.
And to trust, I guess that's trusting the process and yourself. Then I'm going to say, in terms of people and their spaces, in what I do, it's, to take chances and to, if you choose a blank canvas because you're going to start an amazing art collection, that's a great thing to do. But if you're not going to put things on those walls, then color them, texture them, create spaces, a space that really inspires you,
Yeah.
and don't be afraid of it being dated. People ask me all the time, what's in? That's not relevant to the conversation. It's what do you love?
Right.
And the same, a lot of times I'll look at people's wardrobes. If they're on the fence and not really clear articulating what they want, I'll look at what they wear and how they put themselves together, and I'll get a lot of style cues for their home. So I'm going to say again, like, take chances. I guess that's my unified. And then a third thing I'd recommend is hire a bookkeeper.
I still need to do that one.
You know what? It's when you're looking for the things that you don't actually have to do with your time, that's a big one, especially for anyone in a creative business. So I want to understand the numbers, but I don't want to write them into all the little boxes. So I highly recommend. My father was a CPA, and so I feel like that's him, over my shoulder, making sure I dot the I's and cross the T's.
Yeah, yeah. It's so funny you say, to take chances, because as an entrepreneur, you are always taking risks. You're
Mm-hmm.
always taking chances and doing all those things. So if you're owning a business, you're already going in the step in the right direction, right?
Yeah.
Because
Mm-hmm.
it's a chance. So, but it's an investment also in yourself.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's and in others. I have wonderful people that I work with. My team, I have a couple of amazing women that Vonnie Walker is my professional organizer, and she organizes me and my clients and facilitates their moves and really makes it possible for people to get through the hurdle of why everything you do in construction is hard.
Yeah.
And then I have Stephanie Moretta Hidalgo, who is my associate designer, and she does our CAD drafting. She keeps us kind of in the rules and helps us put our really beautiful professional foot forward, and is a great, sidekick. And so just having other women on my team that I can nurture and that always bring more to the table is amazing. And then they're on my construction crews. I mean, I get to bring people who have amazing skills, their talents come to fruition because we made a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's really great. I mean, we appreciate each other. And at this point in my career, I think the hardest thing starting out was before I had people I knew and trusted, because I'm only as good as they are.
Right.
So at this point in my career, I have a series of people who I can call on to do amazing things. And it's a huge relief, and it's a gift to myself and my clients.
Very cool. You have like this whole world you've created,
And yeah, it's true.
like an
Yeah.
ecosystem.
The world according to Jana. I like it.
That's
I
awesome.
like it. My family would say that's been the case for a long time.
All right, Jana. Well, if somebody wanted to look you up or connect with you, how would they do that?
Okay. So my website is janadesigninteriors.com.
Mm-hmm.
There are ways to connect to me through that website, but there's also a website for From Disaster to Dream Home. And if you have questions, concerns, interest, you want to catch up on those podcast episodes, that's the place to go.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
also, your podcast is streamed on all the platforms like
It
Apple,
is. It starts on
Spotify.
the eWomen Network, and you
Yeah.
guys put it out into the world for me,
Yep.
which I am really grateful for.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jana, for coming
You're
on. It was
welcome.
really a pleasure to have you.
It was great to be had. Thank you.
Thanks.